Welcome to the new season of the Premier League. Fulham, Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest have entered the top flight of English football. So today we're going to sit down and pick one player each Premier League club needs coming into the new season, because no one's got a perfect team.
I'm really excited. So much so, Theo, that if we get 12,000 likes, I'm giving away a Manchester City shirt.
What do you mean? Why you just... How did we go from that to... Fine, 12,000 likes. Send us a screenshot then if you hit the like button on Instagram DMs and you could win a Man City... What is the City shirt? Is it the phase one you've got?
It's the phase one. But you better be subscribed because I can see you're not.
Jeez, what are you doing? Don't you know we're on a road to 1 million subscribers? Okay, thank you for doing it.
Let's talk about Arsenal, Theo. They've had problems with Lacazette and Aubameyang up front. Eddie Nketiah's good, but he's not enough. So I'm giving them Jonathan David, Theo, from Lille. He's a young striker, 15 goals in the French league last season. He's prolific for Canada. Market value about 40 million quid. That's what they need.
Dad, you're boring me. It's always these youngsters that haven't proven it in the Premier League and on the top flight in the Champions League. They need world-class signings. Jonathan David would be good, but I'm hearing a lot of Skamaka. I'm hearing a lot of that. I'm not sure it's what Arsenal need. They need top quality, and they'll get that in Robert Lewandowski.
Ooh.
He is my signing for Arsenal Football Club this summer. And I know what you're thinking. He's not going to leave. Well, actually, he wants to. And I know the rumour's Barcelona. But Arsenal Football Club, that's an attractive move. You're moving to London. The family will love that. You're playing football in Hertfordshire and Colney at the training ground. It's all very attractive for a footballer. If they can't get 33-year-old Robert Lewandowski, then when are they going to sign him?
So Lewandowski wants to play with Rob Holding. Theo, you've lost your mind. Lewandowski is not going to Arsenal Football Club.
The reason Tottenham made top four is because they've got world-class players in Kane and Son. This will be the number one world-class player at Arsenal, and he'll score loads of goals for them, and they'll guarantee Champions League football at the carpet.
Not happening. Newcastle United have gone for Moussa Diaby, Theo, from Bayer Leverkusen. 25 contributions in the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
This is a lad who can play left wing and right wing. Now, in particular, I think Newcastle have to strengthen on the right. They
Absolutely.
need that creativity.
They do.
They need the goals and the assists from the right side.
For Newcastle, I agree with you in Moussa Diaby. Now, the 22-year-old for Bayer Leverkusen is a winger who's got an unbelievable amount of statistics this season. Just to read it out, 13 goals, 12 assists in 32 games. We watched him live before Corona together, and he's got this incredible amount of pace. And in the Premier League, when you've got Saint-Maximin on one side and Diaby on the other, you're laughing. You may be talking European football, Geordies. That's all I'm saying.
Fulham, I'm giving you Jed Spence. He's had a really good season at Middlesbrough. He's a really attacking fullback.
Do you not think he'll go back to Forest?
He might do. Some people are talking about that. All I know, he's just made the England under-21s. A lot of people are saying Premier League standard.
I think he'll get a little bit more interest. It's not going to be easy for Forest to get him back. There's probably a few positions that Fulham need to touch up on before their first week in the Premier League, but I'm going to pick the centre-back role because they don't want to be trusting in Tim Ream in the Premier League. So I've got a replacement for him, Marcos Senesi, the 25-year-old Argentinian centre-back who I watched live in the Conference League semi-final and final for Feyenoord. He runs that back line, he's a leader, he can play a high line. He's got a great understanding of play, and I think he'd bolster out that Fulham defence. And it's a move to London. Who wouldn't want that?
Aston Villa, and I'm giving them Hassam Aouar, Theo, from Lyon. He's a central midfielder, versatile player. He can play attacking midfield, he can play on the left. 10 contributions last year, and he's one of those players that would strengthen the Villa team.
Dad, they've already made 4 signings. They've spent a bunch of money. They're not going to buy Hassam Aouar. This was just unrealistic from you.
Player, though. You rate him, though.
No, Thog Dad fact. You're a mug. That's why I've taken your fact and called you a mug. I've gone for Quentin Merlin. Now, this is a signing that they're actually linked with. He's a 20-year-old left-back, played in the French league, helped the team finish 9th last season, played against the likes of Messi. Now, he's not going to be a first-teamer. They've got Lucas Digne. But they need a backup now that Matt Targett is left, which is why I think he's the right signing.
Theo, is Merlin a wizard player?
What do you mean, wizard? What are you on about? What does Merlin mean to do with wizard?
You all know.
Why are you speaking?
Merlin is a wizard.
Why are
Did
you
you know that?
speaking like it's a ghost?
Merlin is a wizard.
Oh no.
Liverpool now, they've got a wonderful team, but that midfield is aging a little bit. So I'm going to give you an 18-year-old who is a phenomenon. He's played 12 times for England. He got 11 contributions for Borussia Dortmund last season. Jude Bellingham.
Wow, you think Jude Bellingham is good enough for Liverpool's midfield already?
100%.
Already?
He is a sensational player. I cannot believe he's 18
You
years
don't
old.
think give him another year at Dortmund?
No,
and then go in?
right now.
Dortmund Oliver's going to be fuming with you.
He is. I'm sorry, Oliver.
Yeah, but look, I'm going to be honest. I think Liverpool are more likely to go for Darwin Nunez.
Yes.
After Sadio Mane's left, he was that striker role.
Yes.
Luis Diaz on the left, Salah on the right. So I think they need a striker to compete with Jota. And that Benfica forward from Uruguay is the man. Now, when I went to Benfica Liverpool this season in the Champions League, Darwin Nunez slapped back with a goal in the second half. And I'm telling you, he's a cold striker. Everybody knows him. He's got incredible statistics. I think he's the man for the Reds.
Wolverhampton Wanderers, it's got to be Domenico Berardi, Theo. And really, I'm saying that because I just want to talk about this guy. We saw him at Euro 2020.
We did, yeah.
And what we saw of him was really exciting. Now, his stats for Sassuolo last season were literally a contribution every game.
A move to the Premier League would be a real test for him. They need more contributions, and you've picked a player who gets a contribution a game. So clearly, there's some really good thinking behind that. I agree with you. But I've gone for Keane Lewis Potter, the 21-year-old at Hull City. They're already linked with him, and I think they should go in for him. He's got 12 goals this season on the left wing role. It gives the forwards and midfield options a little bit more competition, and it's what Wolves needed, especially the way they dropped off at the end of the season. It's quite worrying, isn't it? They need to kick on and have a good transfer window.
Bournemouth now, I'm giving them an England youth international. He's a Man City reserve player at the moment. He was at Bolton Wanderers last year, James Trafford. It's time to go to the Premier League. Yes.
We want him at Bolton.
Yeah,
Why
we
have
do.
you suggested him for the Premier League?
We do, but I'm
he's
just
gonna
saying.
Watch this. He's going to watch this.
And I hope he loves it because he's good enough to play in the Premier League. I hope he stays at Bolton. I pray he stays at Bolton.
He's 19 years old. Let's not take the piss.
But the great thing is he went into that Bolton team and he showed such maturity.
Yeah, absolutely.
He wasn't afraid to shout at the senior players and say, this is how it should be done.
Did you teach him that?
Player of the season.
Seeing as you're his dad. I'm gone for a player in the Championship. I'm going for Christopher Willock of QPR. He's got 18 contributions last season in about 33 starts, which I think is very good. Plays in a formation where he's like a left attacking midfielder, can play on the wing, can play up front. He's right-footed. He's the brother of Joe Willock, who's already in the Premier League. He's back to be as good as him or even better. And I think it's the sort of signing that Bournemouth should go for. Their Premier League, they can improve their forward options. He'll link up well with Dominic Solanke. Goals galore for the Cherries.
Manchester City now, I'm giving you a Spanish international. Used to be at Barcelona, currently at Brighton. Marc Cucurella, Theo.
Yeah.
Fourth most tackles in the Premier League. We talked about him yesterday, and he's exciting on the ball, isn't he, Theo?
He's been brilliant at Brighton, but he's only been there for a year. He's not just going to move on.
I think he's good enough. I see him. It's the eye test. He's good enough for City.
Okay, I've also gone for a backup left back because that is the position they really need to get, especially if they sell Zinchenko. And the player I've picked is Borna Souza. He's a 24-year-old Stuttgart and Croatia international. And this season, he's got about 8 assists in 28 games. He's so good getting up that left flank. I actually think if Kyle Walker, in a few years wants to retire or slow down and not play as much football, get Cancelo over to the right, and then you've got Borna Souza, future of that Man City left-back position. I'm telling you, he's a backup for now, but that is who they should go for.
Is he related to Kaiser Sosa?
Maybe he is. I don't even know who you're talking about.
Southampton, it's got to be Ibrahim Sangare. If you've got 35 million euros, I know that everyone is after him, Theo. I know that Chelsea, Man United, etc. But maybe he should go to someone like Southampton. He's a DM, Theo. Brilliant for winning the ball back in the final third, for tackles, for interceptions. He's a really special player.
Bought my pick for Southampton. Get Gareth Bale back to the Saints.
Oh my goodness.
He started there. He could end there.
Wow, Wales, golf and Southampton.
That's all I'm saying, yeah. Maybe I'm joking. I have gone for Luka Jovic. Because they need a striker. Broy's going back. They need someone they can rely on for goals next season. Now, the new Serbian owners surely could sweet talk a Serbian striker. Kind of on the back of the list at Real Madrid. Get a little bid in there, Southampton. That could be a game changer.
Chelsea, I've gone for Jules Kounde. Rudiger's on the way out. Christensen's on the way out. Thiago is not getting any younger. The lad is at Sevilla. He's a Europa League winner. 54 million quid. Bit of a temper at times. Sent off twice last season. But what a player.
Completely agree. Jules Kounde. I've not put that down. Can you guess the player I've written down?
I think you've written a striker down.
Yes.
And his name is, you say it.
Come on, Brazilian.
Jesus.
Yes, you've got it. Now, the reason is, I think he should hijack the deal.
Yes.
Chelsea should be all over this. Don't let him go to a competitor in Arsenal. Bring him in. Chelsea's striker options, Werner, Lukaku, they're all a bit average. And if that rumour about Lukaku leaving is correct, you've got your replacement in Gabriel Jesus. Proven it in the Premier League. And something tells me you could even shift him out to the wing at Stamford Bridge. When was the last time they had a winger that actually scored a regular amount of goals? It's been a while.
For me, Chelsea, keep Lukaku. Give him another season. He'll score 15 goals. Brighton and Hove Albion, I've gone for Hugo Ekitike, Theo. Now, I know he's linked with Newcastle, but hear me out. Brighton need a striker. It's going to be the difference between 9th and 7th. And this lad is at Stade Reims, Theo. 9 starts, 10 goals. He's young. Give him a chance.
Brighton need a striker, and they go for him. Fair play. I've gone for Levi Colwill. He was on loan at Huddersfield. He's a Chelsea 19-year-old left centre-back. He plays in a back three, which is the same system Brighton have played this year. And I believe if you get him in the team, and it's a signing they've done before, Brighton did it with Lamptey, poach from the academy before he gets too expensive, bring him in and give him Premier League game time, which Chelsea can't offer yet. I think if they made that move, they could move Cucurella back to the left wing-back position, and I think they'd have a really nice defence there. So Brighton, get it done.
Tottenham Hotspur, it's got to be Frankie de Jong, Theo. I know he's linked with Man United, but this guy, Dutch international, former Ajax players, had a good season at Barcelona, and he adds quality to that central midfield position, and also links the defence well with those brilliant attacking options they've got.
But with how much he's linked with Manchester United, do you think that's really a possible move?
Where would you rather go?
Good question. Right now, it's very toxic at the Red Devils, so you make a good point. Now, for Spurs, centre-back is a position they really need to strengthen on. Do they want to rely on the likes of Ben Davis playing in that back three for a whole season? I'm unsure. The Brazilian 25-year-old who's at Torino getting interest from all around the world, and his name is Bremer.
Yes.
Now, he seriously is a baller on the ball, comfortable. He signed for 5 million and he had to work his way into that Torino FC team in 2018. So he's clearly hardworking. He's never had a crazy amount of money and been in the limelight. I think he's Premier League ready. Conte, get that bid done.
Everton now, and it's a familiar name, Alexander Zinchenko. We know all about him, Theo. He's good on the ball, he's pacey, he's creative, and he's versatile. He's defender, he's a midfielder, he's whatever you want him to be. I know Arsenal are slipping around, aren't they?
And his Ukrainian teammate, Mykolenko, is already there.
True. I'm thinking that you need a squad there. If you're Everton, you can't just have one player in one position. And same for any Premier League club.
Zielinski, the Polish international,
Yes.
who plays for Napoli, used to play next to Allen, so may even improve him as well. This season, he's dropped off a little bit in statistics, but that might be part of the reason he'll want to leave. 18 contributions in 32 games 2 years ago. And last year, he only got 11 contributions in 26, but that's nearly 1 in 2. I think he's got the physicality for the Premier League, and he'd be welcomed at Goodison Park.
Brentford now. Takumi Minamino, Theo, the Japanese international, who is at Liverpool. I tell you what, he's warming the bench too much. In the Cups, Theo,
Dad.
9 appearances, 7 goals, 1 assist. I want to see this guy play every single week.
Yeah, but the rumour is Minamino would go for about 17 million.
Yes.
Benham ain't going to pay that. He's the one who finds the talent and sells it for 17 million, not buys it like that.
Benham buys him for 15 and sells him for 30. That's what Benham does.
No, because Minamino's not going for 30. He's not that good. I've gone for Said Benrahma. I think they could go in for him because the rumour is David Moyes wants to ship him out after 2 inconsistent seasons.
Why would you want to get rid of Benrahma, who's a superb
Well,
player?
West Ham have better options, and it seems like they're going for other players in their starting 11. Benrahma isn't starting, you ship him on. And I think if Christian Eriksen gets a crazy move to somewhere huge that Brentford just can't turn down financially, then Benrahma's the player you bring in to replace him.
Leeds United, and everyone says this player I'm going to mention is off to Newcastle or Everton or Villa, but I'm going to say James Tarkowski is who you need at Leeds United. He's been a brilliant servant for Oldham, for Brentford, for Burnley.
He's gone to Everton Football Club.
In the last few hours. Well, I'm still going to stick with it. You should have bought James Tarkowski.
You're a mug! I've gone for Ben Foster.
Hey.
Which means we've given 2 unserious answers to Leeds United.
No,
even though they
I
need about
tell
3
you what, my
replacements.
mate Matt, big Leeds fan, said exactly the same thing. You need him as a replacement and you need him in the dressing room.
Ben Foster. Oh no, I completely agree with you, Dad. I'm completely bantering. Ben Foster is the signing they need because as much as Leeds need things on the pitch, they need top quality. The experience in the dressing room is so key for the young players.
Yes.
In pressured moments where Leeds United have probably bottled it, I'd say last year, Ben Foster can be in there with the manager Jesse Marsh to really show he's been there before and be there to support Meslier too, who's a young goalkeeper and could probably do sometimes with an arm round him.
Crystal Palace, and it's very obvious because you had him last season, Conor Gallagher. He got 11 contributions. He got into the England squad. He took his chance in life there.
Is that unrealistic?
Why? I mean, if they can find the
Dad,
money.
forget money. Chelsea, they don't need that. They've got Ted Bolly, they're chilling. He's probably going to be part of the first team squad next year. I don't think they'll sell him.
Squad, but what about the 11? This is a lad who should play week in, week out.
Maybe he will. He's good enough. He's proven it at Palace, and I think Tuchel really likes him. For Crystal Palace, I've gone for Sheikh Doucouré. He is a baller. The 22-year-old playing at Lens has proven himself to be a big, strong midfielder who can really hold up play, get interceptions, put a tackle in. And I think if you had a really good player like Conor Gallagher in front of him, then Palace could be sorted for next year. It seems like they're really dipping into the French league after previous manager Patrick Vieira was at Nice, so it makes sense.
West Ham United, you've got the creativity of Jared Bowen and you've got Fornals, but what you need is a consistent finisher. You need a striker, so I'm giving you Gabriel Jesus, Theo.
Ooh, okay.
And I tell you what, for Man City
West
last
Ham.
season, yes,
That's
he
big.
got 8 goals, he got 9 assists, he's prolific for his country. Well, a goal every 3 games for Brazil ain't bad, is it?
No, it's true.
So I think if he plays every week, and he can play centre forward, second striker, you can push him a little bit out wide.
Yeah, of course
a
you can.
versatile, good player.
Piero Hinkimpe. I may have said that wrong, but he is literally capped to be South America's best young defender in the future. So get in there early, whilst he's only 20, and make the move. It gives Cresswell a little bit of competition. He's someone who's got the versatility to play centre-back, and with Dawson getting on as well, it's the perfect player. So David Moyes, get him in.
Wow, that's quite intelligent for
Yeah,
you,
it is.
Theo.
I've done a bit of research for once.
Leicester City, and I'm going for Ademola Lookman. So hang on to him. He's on loan from RB Leipzig, isn't he, Theo?
Yeah.
He can play left wing, right wing, second striker, very versatile. I think he got 6 goals last season, but he didn't have many starts. Who have you gone for, Theo?
My pick for Leicester, I've gone for a centre-back. I've not been massively convinced by Soyuncu this season, and Johnny Evans and Fofana are very injury-prone, so I've gone for Kim Min-jae.
Ooh, yes.
You probably have no idea who he is, though.
Played in the Chinese and Turkish leagues, I think.
He did. He's at Fenerbahce. He's 25 years old, and I've got a feeling he needs a big money move. And maybe in the region of 30 million, Leicester could pick him up. So I'm backing him.
Nottingham Forest, and it's got to be Morgan Gibbs-White, Theo.
Ooh.
Now, he's at Wolves, but he was on loan at Sheffield United last year, got 20 contributions in attacking midfield. And the great thing about him, Theo, he's played with Steve Cooper in the England setup and with Swansea.
I think it's a very realistic move. Will it completely change the Forest team? I'm unsure. They need a lot of investment, and I think a lot of it should go into a left wing-back role, because Colback's a legend, and he's done amazing things for that club to bring them up, but it's time to bring in someone who's very good and can help them create. And if they get Spence on the right wing-back role, obviously that would be incredible. But I've gone for Owen Windau, the 22-year-old from Alkmaar. Do you know his stats this year? He's got 10 assists in 31 games. Now, I know it's in the Dutch league, but I reckon he's Premier League ready, and under Forest, you've got a great move, and it's a really well-supported club. It's definitely an attractive move.
Steve Cooper, sign him up. Manchester United, it's got to be Jurrien Timber, Theo, from Ajax, who's a very exciting centre-back, and my goodness, you need cover for the injured Varane and for Harry Maguire.
When we're talking about Manchester United, you could pick a whole squad.
You could, yeah.
They've got rid of a lot of deadwood, and I think not just Timber, they need a central midfielder, maybe De Jong.
Yes.
Actually, they need to be looking at the whole Ajax team. That winger, Anthony,
Yes.
another
yes.
option. Thing is about Timber is Maguire's having a very average season. You never know if to trust in him. Varane is very injury prone, so you're not left with one centre-back that Manchester United fans and players can rely on. And with Jurrien Timber, yes, he's 5'10", and he doesn't have the height, but the understanding, the pace, the strength, he's got all the ability and potential, he's only 20 years old, to be the future of that club. So as much as we could have picked an array of players, I agree with you on Jurrien Timber.
That's it from us. Remember, if we get 12,000 likes, one of you is getting a Man City shirt, and it's a nice one.
Yeah, it's the FaZe collaboration.
It is nice,
I can't
yeah.
believe you're giving that away.
I can't wear it. I'm a Bolton fan.
Could be anyone who likes the Premier League who wants that shirt. If you're a fan of FaZe, then get liking. Please subscribe. And that's it. No, I'm just leaving. I'm off. I'm going.
See ya.